Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ENN
on TV.
Ray-Ro. It's brought to you tonight by our friends over at Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisian.
Come get some!
Yeah.
I'd like to start off by saying good evening to Michael.
And then they didn't have gravy, and Jody doesn't do this often. Caught the little attitude, according to Charlie.
And then good evening to Don.
I'm not disparaging IHOP. I love the product.
Good evening to Don.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good evening to Don.
Why? Why can't I just have some fun, man? Why can't I start feeling it?
What do you should say on dates?
Let me say good evening to Don.
I love Pittsburgh.
And good evening to Don.
I only cry happy. I don't cry sad.
You don't? Is
today.
that true?
You didn't cry at the end of MASH.
No, in sports.
Oh. You know,
I made that very clear.
okay, sorry.
No, but I cry when I only cry happy.
You didn't
I
cry
sad.
when McLean Stevenson died.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when Radar left, remember he left the teddy bear on Hawkeye's cot?
Excuse me?
Cried.
Oh.
They slept on cots.
I thought I almost sent Michael into Don territory.
No, a lot of TV. I think I might have. I wept a little in the end of 6 Feet Under.
A little?
And then,
what, do you want an animal?
And then,
what do you mean a little?
Young Sheldon.
No. You know what? Don't mention the greats and then bring up Young Sheldon.
Well, did
I didn't watch
Jody
it,
get
so.
to see the episode last Thursday?
No. We've been
She didn't
very
talk about
busy.
it?
No, she didn't talk about it.
Well, I'm not going to say anything. I only cry happy. I don't cry sad.
And good evening to myself. Saki.
That was some story.
Yeah, that was...
Saki.
One that I didn't need to hear. The only reason I would need to hear that if he shot some sake into your mouth.
I thought it was...
you're disparaging the whole story.
Yeah,
It's a dumb story.
You liked it, Don.
I enjoyed it the second time as much as the first.
People wrote me and said, "Oh, it's at every like hibachi place." I guess the only hibachi I really know is Benihana, and I don't remember the sake shots in the mouth. Sake.
Can I hear that before the show's over?
Good evening to Kendrick Perkins.
Everybody need to keep a cool booty, okay?
A cool booty?
That's right. Good evening to Lewis, who called up from New Jersey.
Let's go to Lewis in New Jersey. Lewis.
You gonna take a shower or no?
Good evening to Lewis.
I'm 80 years old.
Now, was that the same?
Same one.
Oh, okay.
The way I love that his accent was such that even saying years old, it turns into an Italian word spelled like Yizole. Listen to that.
I'm 80 years old.
And I don't remember the sake shots in the mouth. I liked Lewis. I thought he actually made some salient points, if I'm being honest with you.
About color commentators, he opened it up saying Al Michaels and then ripping me for thinking he's on the Mount
He
Rushmore.
basically said the only people that he thinks are worthwhile and make you turn on the TV are Tony Romo and the TNT guys. And by the way, there are a lot of people I think tend to agree with that.
And the other observation, I only got you guys agree because he brought up his wife, not only because of the shower, but her love for Tony Romo.
Yeah.
I bet you she's at least 30 years his junior.
I'm 80 years old.
I think he's doing well.
That's what you think?
Because I gotta believe an 80-year-old couple, they don't care where they are. But if she's 50, he's going to care whether she takes a shower or not.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Peter knows.
I don't know if I did.
No, you've lost it.
I think he's got a nice little 49-year-old trophy wife.
All right, so if his wife was 80, he wouldn't care if she showered?
No, wouldn't care.
Oh, Nancy has a lot to look forward
The
to.
only thing he'd be happy about is that she's out of the room.
Oh, my God.
But if she's 49, he's following her all over the place.
He wants to know, you showering tonight? Huh? What's going on?
This was at 5:50. It's not exactly a late-night shower.
And I don't remember the sake shots in the mouth.
Well, remember, but she still has to go on his time. He's already late for the early bird special.
Wow.
So she's probably. But
Lewis, this is not me, Lewis.
Lewis, call back.
No,
Confirm
Don's
it.
showing respect.
Yeah, I'm showing respect.
I think you're going far with 49.
All right, well, maybe.
I think maybe she's 69.
I'm gonna stick with 49. Makes for a better story, a better vision, if you will.
Let's go to Lewis in New Jersey. Lewis.
You gonna take a shower or no?
That's it. Not even the no. You gonna take a shower or no?
Donovan Mitchell out tonight.
Oh, no.
for the
What's
Cleveland
wrong?
Cavaliers. All I have is out. Do you have what's the exact?
You're a real newsbreaker,
you said
aren't
it?
you?
Oh, you texted me? Sorry.
General disinterest.
Sorry, I have it right here. It is a calf strain. Left calf strain.
Why do you bother, Anthony? Why?
Sorry, he said it in my ear and he wrote it to me. I listened to what he said in my ear. I didn't look at what he said. I have my
Calf strain. He's out for the rest of the series.
Calf strain's not
what you want in any walk of life.
And you know what this means too? It means the Celtics are going to do exactly what they did to Miami. Not show up in game 2 at home, get completely waxed, and then win the next 3, and they'll be chilling, waiting, resting up for the winner of the Knicks-Pacers series. I don't know if you guys saw the Paul Pierce story moving around today. Some controversy with Paul Pierce as he dropped an N-bomb on live TV on FS1. But I got to tell you, my cousin, who lives in Boston, made a great point.
What's that?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Don't just be against me because, well, not you, Michael.
Why do you put me in that position? You know what? I'm not even going to ring in then.
No, I want you to ring in, but you're just going to go, oh, well, he's an idiot. Well, what's his name?
Well,
Ballard? Moron.
But that wouldn't be ripping you.
No, I thought this was a very good point. My cousin's a huge Celtics fan of Boston. And he said everything that makes Paul Pierce an absolute disaster for national television is why he should be the color guy in Boston. Like the local guy, not the national guy.
Right.
He's a drunken disaster. He says absolute crazy things, and he's a Celtics legend. They have Brian Scalabrine as the color. He's not a legend. I'm all due respect. I'm not saying he's not a talented guy, but I'm just as a Celtics fan, I have no connection to Scal.
But is he good?
He's considered great.
Is he considered great?
People love him in Boston.
I don't understand it. I like to have Paul Pierce doing something. I mean, you might want to clean it up. Don't go cursing live on the air.
Well, you know what? When you just hire anybody you want because they have a name, and then you don't take into consideration that they don't know how to edit themselves, this is what you get what you deserve.
It's a fair point by you also. You said what you said.
I mean, it's not like they hired like John Gielgud.
Sir John Gielgud.
I'm sorry.
He was knighted?
Oh, yeah.
Apologies.
Have you seen him act?
By the way, have I seen what?
Have you seen him act?
He was Obi-Wan.
Oh, that's Obi-Wan. That's right, yeah. He is a sir, huh?
Yeah.
I think he was a sir before Obi.
By the way, I only know him for Obi, and I don't know his name on a bet. What's his name?
Sir John Gielgud.
Yeah, what's he? I like that. That's who you compared to Paul Pierce, by the way. But what was he big in before being Obi-Wan?
Stand by.
You don't even know.
Well, it's 1977.
Yeah, I think I was about to say. Like, well, before that, what were you aware of? I'm curious.
He's a great English actor.
So what?
Shakespearean and stuff like that.
I'm not saying you got to know his resume, but the name it fits.
All right, can I reconnoiter? It's not like you hired Sir Laurence Olivier.
That's the gold standard. And what is reconnoiter?
Look it up.
Don, be honest right now. In this moment. No, look me in the eyes. You ever heard that word in your life?
No, but Michael said it, so I trust him explicitly.
But what a piece of garbage! Because you just made our entire audience go, "What is connoiter?"
You know, I just taught something. Reconnoiter.
Can you give us a definition?
Yeah, I certainly could. Reconnoiter.
Go ahead.
Reconnoiter. To go to a place or area in order to find out information about a military enemy, to do a reconnaissance of a place. An expedition reconnoitered the coast to find out the exact location of enemy forces.
Not sure it fit.
Yeah,
in the
that
context
didn't
in which
work.
you brought it up.
Yeah, I don't think that made sense. You want to apologize?
No, I don't.
You want to reconnoiter here because that wasn't what you meant.
All right.
To inspect, observe, or survey in order to gain information for military. I was trying to gain information for military purposes.
All right. Now, again, these are before your time, but you'll remember them. Dr. Zhivago.
I'm familiar. Sure.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Sure.
All right. So those are.
No, that's a couple of big
Another word for reconnoiter: examine, explore, inquire, look, probe, scout, or survey.
So you'd moved on to like the fourth definition is what you're saying.
Why don't you move on and leave the show?
All right.
No, just not move on to the next subject. Just
leave the show.
Gather your stuff
and go.
Get
out of here.
Bridge over River Kwai, which I
That's
like.
KWAI.
That's right.
Bridge on the River Kwai. That's one of my favorite.
You confused it with Bridge over Troubled Water, didn't you?
A little bit. But no, it's one of my favorite war movies. So and an Oliver Twist. So he's
No, there's some big names.
He's bringing. They
No,
don't
it's-
just knight anybody.
No, that's right. Paul McCartney and Mr. Gilgood.
And
Dr.
Olivier.
Gilgood. And Olivier, of course.
And McCartney.
Yeah, of course. I said that
I think
first.
Mr. Bean has also been knighted.
Well, you know what?
No, and deservedly so.
I think he has been knighted. He's Sir Bean.
I'm not a Bean fan.
Why not?
Really? No.
You've got
nothing.
some nerve.
By
The
the
work
way,
that Bean does.
Not only am I not a Mr. Bean fan, if I got the chance, I'd punch him right in the face.
Really?
I hate
That's
him.
how much you hate
You
Mr.
hate him.
Bean.
Hate him. I don't think he's funny. His face gets me annoyed.
Well, that's the whole purpose of his face.
But it's to annoy you or think it's funny.
Both.
It only serves for me as annoy. I've never been a fan of the Bean. Let's hear from Tom Thibodeau, shall we?
I'm good, but go on.
No, you're happy right where we are.
Ball just now.
Not to mention, should we tell Michael about the conversation that was had off the air with our guest earlier?
He doesn't like.
that
He
was-
doesn't like Thibodeau.
No,
No. It's
it
about,
was really interesting, Mike.
you know what? It's about you.
Yeah.
About me.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? How about it's a nice tease. Let's listen to Coach Thibodeau here on No OG, No Excuse.
You know, OG was out for a good chunk of the season, so that's no excuse. Just get it done.
No,
And
it is an
Jalen-
excuse. They were 13 and 16 without him, so it is an excuse.
Yeah, apparently, it may not be excuse for you, but it is a reason. Jalen Brunson asked about the foot.
You feel like you have less lift or less burst?
I'm fine.
And Josh Hart, what about you? Do you do your job?
Put that on my shoulders. I'm supposed to be, the energy guy of the team, and I didn't do anything. I gave nothing. I put that on my shoulders, but now we just got to focus on resting, recovering, and like I said, get ready for Tuesday.
I love the way they handle it. None of them made excuses. None of them.
No, you got to love every word that this team gives after a game. You got.
There wasn't anything like what Rick Carlisle did. They didn't make any excuses. Didn't say because we're injured. They handled it perfectly.
By the way, I screwed up. It was Sir Alex Guinness that played Obi-Wan, so I screwed that up.
So the whole thing we just
The
talked
whole
about.
thing. And everything
that was attached to it.
Yes.
So everything didn't even take place.
That's all my fault.
You know what?
Michael will take some responsibility for not correcting
I
me.
didn't. I'm not a
and we
Star
move on.
Wars fan. How would I know?
I know, but you should have known. You spelled Kwai correctly, so I'm sure you're familiar with the work of the movie.
I'm not familiar with any Star Wars stuff. What did he say about me, Mateau?
Oh, there you go. I heard it secondhand, so Peter should tell the story.
He said, I heard Michael was really coming down on Dave Maloney. Heard he was really coming down on him hard for the call. I mean, he seemed a little bit upset.
Yeah.
Upset at me?
Oh yeah, like you offended him a little bit.
Little bit.
Basically what you did was you just rained on the collective Ranger parade. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, John Gielgud was Hobson in Arthur.
Oh.
So you got it?
Arthur, what was he in On the Rocks or just the original?
No, because he died in the original.
Oh.
And it's Alec, not Alex.
Sir Alec Guinness.
That's not nice.
So, I mean, I respect Stefan Mateau. He's a nice guy. Why didn't he bring it up to me? I would have had a nice discussion with him.
I don't think he made the connection. That's the part of the story that we're leaving out.
Oh, you don't think he realized?
So it's rifling through the garden that I don't like. By the way, I'm not going to give out names because I don't.
No.
I had
I
at
don't like to
least
start.
3 big time because Awful Announcing picked it up.
Okay.
3 big time play-by-play guys contact me and say, "Thank you for saying that. It's impossible if we say it because it looks like we're jerks." So what they're saying, you be the jerk, Michael. Every play-by-play guy feels the same way, but they can't say it.
Well, of course, play-by-play guys feel that way because you're the ones getting stepped on.
But it has nothing to.
I heard from 23 different color commentators. They all said, "God, I'm tired of these play-by-play guys crying about this thing."
Yeah, and thousands of fans who loved it.
I heard Dan Grasso. I got in the car, go get a bagel on Saturday.
Okay.
It was still Grasso was still talking about our conversation on Saturday.
What did Dan say?
That's not nice. No, he was taking calls. The call that I heard when I tuned in was a Ranger fan saying he loved the call. He wasn't able to watch the game, and the joy in Maloney's voice brought him.
You know what? I embraced that. So he listened to it afterward.
Yes.
Okay, then you know how it ended. Of course you embrace it. It sounds great. He's freaking out like everybody was freaking out. But if you were listening in the car, driving somewhere, and the game ended, you have no idea how it ended. I saw people on social media said, well, I mean, Sam made his call. No, he didn't. He never said who scored. I'm done
But
with
you
this.
won.
I'm done with it.
Well, I'm just saying
Well,
you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to be the bad guy all the time. I'm sick and tired of it. Might be time for me to retire.
Well,
Because
you're
if
the
I
one
was
who
just
said
a
it.
play-by-play guy, I wouldn't have the forum to complain about what's right and what's wrong.
But no, but you deem it to be right or wrong, but don't get mad at people for disagreeing with you.
Nobody should disagree with me.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
I'm 80 years old.
Let's move on, shall we? Stephen A. Smith. He was not pleased with how the New York Knicks looked.
Well, there's definitely an immense amount of pressure on the New York Knicks. They lose Game 5. The likelihood is they'll lose Game 6 of this series because they're shorthanded. We don't expect Anunoby back this season. We know Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson and Bogdanovich is not back this season. They're shorthanded, and what you saw as a product of Game 4 was exactly that. You saw Jalen Brunson missing shots he would normally make. Dante DiVincenzo looking like Steph Curry one day. He looked like nothing today. He didn't have anything. It's not about their game. It was about their legs.
Yeah.
The energy just wasn't there. The ferv wasn't there. They shot 19% from three-point range. What was the number? 33%, 33.7% from the field. Meanwhile, Indiana wasn't missing shots from the field, and especially from three-point range all night long. It was an absolute disaster. It was a massacre. But the bottom line is there's still Game 5. Still got home court advantage for a reason.
Hard to disagree with any of that. This is a tough spot the Knicks are in. However, in the NBA, home court advantage is a thing. And also, the one thing I'll push back on is, while I know there are now like modern statistics to tell me that they weren't getting the same airtime on their jump shots.
No.
Don, sometimes shots just don't go down.
That's it.
And if you're a team that lives and dies with the long ball, you may die in the first quarter if you're not hitting shots.
Sometimes it's not your night, and the good news is it's been the Knicks' night more times than not.
And I will tell you, there is a bonus to how long Josh Hart was just sitting on that bench getting a breath. I will say that, much as I complained about Tibbs not pulling Jalen Brunson, he did pull Josh Hart, and Josh Hart got a lot of rest. So let's see how they come out, and let's see if this crowd is smoking tomorrow night at the Garden. My guess is they will. Not to mention, I'm going to be in the building, so you know how that is.
Oh, is that true?
Oh, yeah. I got to be there. I got to come. I got to feel the energy once this year. I went to a couple.
So would you
last
take
year.
Jake Assman's seat or what?
Jake's going to find a way in. He's resourceful. Ty as well.
Honestly, I'm not even worried about a seat. I got a credential. I'm going to go by and see what's what.
Yeah.
I think you should go down to Mr. Dolan and wish him a happy 69th birthday.
Is tomorrow's
Yesterday
birthday?
was. Say happy belated, Jim.
By the way, I was going to say something on the air the other day. Saki. No, not that. I was going to say, it's so funny. I was going to say, if they wanted to set this place on fire,
You mean up for grabs?
Dolan would, I know what I'm saying is impossible. Hear me out.
Okay.
The Garden would announce they've talked to Charles Oakley. All is good. And at the start of that game, right before the game, you see Charles Oakley sitting next to Dolan.
Well, you heard what happened, right?
Well, after. So I thought there was a possibility. I'm like, I wonder, Don, imagine how electric it would be if Oakley's back in the Garden, welcome back in with open arms. And now turns out it's the exact opposite of that.
No, well, they did. No. They offered Oakley the chance to come back. Why don't you come back and let's bury the hatchet? He said, I need an apology publicly. That's not, Jim Dolan's not going to do that.
No. I'm not saying that in the opposite happened, saying it's all on the Knicks. I'm just saying the opposite of that happened. He's not coming back.
But they tried. They were thinking along with you.
But, yeah, they were thinking with you.
Can you imagine if he's sitting next to Starks and Ewing and all those guys? So they see the value in that. And he said no. He's being obstinate. Hey, that's his right. He doesn't want to do it. He wants a public apology.
Now, in some ways, Michael, you have to respect that.
I think I might be the same way.
I think you would too.
Yeah.
And you almost have to respect the Garden for saying, well, I'm not going to be performative and just apologize for the moment. If
I think in Jim Dolan's mind, listen, I'm extending the olive branch. I'm welcoming you back to the Garden. That, in effect, is the apology. So Charles is doubling down, and then Dolan goes, nah, I'm good. Hey, he won't do it. I mean, we know Jim Dolan forever. He will not do that.
Right.
No. And I think in this case, in this case, if what you care about most is a championship, I would have done it. I'd apologize.
If you were Dolan?
Yes. Get him back in the. Who cares?
He
I don't think they're going to need any artificial energy.
It would still be fun though. It would still
No, it'd be fun, but
it wouldn't be artificial. It's just extra. It's gasoline, Don. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were at the Apollo about an hour ago for the Netflix press conference for the big fight July 20th. Mike Tyson, are you trying to end Jake Paul?
I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
We shall see. July 20th. It's going to creep up on us, guys. Time flies. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Especially this time of year.
That's exactly right. That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalise. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Memorial Day sales event. And I don't remember the sake shots in the mouth.
Good job by you, Peter. Tyson's in New York. I'm dropped by the studio.
Yeah,
Good job.
You know what? I was told we had too much Knicks coverage. Actually,
in the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye. See you, everybody. Ranger coverage coming up next.